Hello, and again, welcome to Bit Depth. I'm Santiago Ramones. Perpendicular to me is Sally.
Hi.
What's up?
Oh, not too much. I'm kind of nervous, kind of thrilled that you asked to interview me.
Yeah, no, for one, I have always wanted to, converse with you and Patrick, and, we have, these groups of friends, and they converge every once in a while, but then most of the time, we just don't talk to each other outside of convention stuff.
This is true.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
That and the fact that I appreciate your opinion and the stuff that you say, and so I'd like to have that opinion on here.
Awesome. Documented for posterity.
Yeah. So first of all, what do you do?
Well, without going into too much detail on account of what I actually do, I work for Uncle Sam. And specifically in a department that's not at risk for getting cut, having any budget slashes in the near future, especially with this political climate.
Yeah. How specific can you get?
I don't work on weapons, so if anyone is thinking I'm actually really important to any of that, I'm not.
Okay.
But I do work on planes.
Cool.
Plane parts.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
How does that even... I can't even fathom how... So recently, I guess we have a family friend that works on planes, and I asked my dad, does he know how to fly? Because I find it very strange that if someone, repairs planes and they don't know how to fly, how do you make sure it works?
That's fair if you're, equating it to, working on a car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess the scales are vastly different. Whereas it's a car. One person can work on a car. Mm-hmm. A plane is so huge.
Yeah.
So they kind of compartmentalize it to a degree where you only work on this one small part. Mm-hmm. And so, it cuts down on knowing how the plane works to just knowing how to do that small part. And they have instructions, very, very clear and strict instructions on how to do your job.
Okay. And I mean, do you expand upon oh no, I know this part, but I can also do all these other things, or is it just...
people move around shop to shop, but I don't want to speak for everyone at Tinker, but I don't think anyone knows the full blueprints of a plane, or at least not enough to work on whichever part.
Yeah.
Who knows? There might be someone like that.
Do you want to learn how to fly a plane? Or you just...
Oh, man, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess flying a plane wasn't really on my bucket list. However, my bucket list is kind of small. So, I don't know, learning to fly a plane wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. And then, what else do you do outside of, the thing that gives you money?
I'm trying to earn money with my actual hobby / interest, which is, art. Mm. So I work at a wine and palette as a painting instructor.
Cool.
Yeah, so I actually get to do something fun and get paid for it. That's always neat.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully one day I'll be able to switch from my day job to just doing what I really like.
Do those even connect at all?
You know what? When I interviewed for the job at, my day job, I actually brought up the fact that I do a lot of crafting, and so it's not just metal on a plane; it's composite stuff too. And so, oh my cat! So I actually brought up the fact that I knew how to use resin, and obviously it's on a small scale with jewelry, but I knew the curing process, and I kind of talked myself up. But I use the correct terminology, and so I think that's what got me the job.
Ah, okay.
They're she knows something.
Yeah. No one ever is actually fully telling the truth in a job interview.
It's just a lying contest.
And so there's always this contrarian thing going on whenever you're like, I want to make art to express myself, but then also I have to make money to live and breathe. So how do you at least reconcile between doing art to express yourself and then also making money off of it?
Well, Santiago, there's a reason the phrase starving artist exists.
Yes.
Well, I guess part of the reconciliation is, having a side job,
Mm-hmm.
which I get paid to paint, and so I learn, how to paint better through actual experience,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's a job I have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so that helps not keep me completely stagnant or regressing, because art is, someone's probably said this, art is like riding a bike. It's a train sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you stop doing it, you'll get worse.
Yeah.
Wait, is a bike like that? Maybe it's not a bike.
I think it's the opposite with a bike.
Yeah, the bike.
Or at least with what they say.
This is true. All right, it's some other sort of a trained skill, not a bike.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have to keep doing it. And in what ways do you continue doing it outside of trying to get paid for it?
Well, try is the key word here.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to, I have an Etsy account up where I sell, the crafts and my convention store stand, I guess artist table where I go around in conventions trying to sell some of my arts and crafts.
Yeah.
So, if nothing else, that pays for the convention itself.
Yeah.
I've yet to
Breaking
earn.
even.
Yeah, I've yet to earn like a substantial amount of cash that way, but it
Good
is what
old
it is.
$13 or
Yeah.
something.
It's a good day when I break even. I'm like, hey, it's like I never even went to the convention.
Yeah. I'm going to have you say it again, but what is that Etsy store where people can buy your things?
Well, there's nothing much on there right now except a couple scrapbooks, but it's called Vandever. I think the sub-store title is Sexy Taco Stand.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested in some scrapbooks just right now and a pair of earrings, I got you covered.
Yeah. And then you also do music, as far as I know.
Yes, I played piano for well over 10 years as a classic pianist, and then I switched to, church pianist. So there's a lot of improv stuff, voluntold, but it actually helped a lot with my sight reading. However, this past year has been pretty bad since I don't own a piano, and I don't play at that church anymore.
Oh. I mean, have you always wanted to play piano professionally, or has that just kind of been something that you do?
Let's just say my mom is Korean.
Okay.
So I had to pick an instrument of some sort. So, although I don't regret it, at the time when I was learning, she had me play an hour every day to practice. I was like, this is the worst. But now I'm like, you know what? This is actually a really handy skill. I can sight read. I can play the piano. That's pretty cool. And of course, it's the foundation to playing other instruments too. So
yeah, do you play other instruments?
I can play a bit of guitar.
Okay.
I took lessons in 3rd grade, but I still got it. Not the calluses though.
Yeah. Well, no, I felt comfortable walking in here and seeing instruments.
Yeah. Those two are Patrick's, and I think he got rid of my teeny bopper guitar. Or at least it's in storage because it's technically smaller than a regular guitar. Because apparently I'm smaller than a regular person. It is what it is.
Yeah. Do you think that your musical hobby is does it tie into your artistic hobby?
That's an interesting question. And as far as inspiration, music inspires me both in wanting to play and in drawing sometimes, but I'm not sure if that's inherently because of my ability to play the piano or just an appreciation for music. Because recently I learned that not everyone really likes music.
Yeah.
that was mind-boggling. Like, I've met these people.
Yeah, no, I have a friend who, he doesn't dislike music, but he is indifferent to it.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, so like, if he's driving in the car, like, he'll either just have the radio off, or it'll just be on, and he just won't care what is on.
Oh, okay. Does he not, like, specifically switch it to, like, talk shows or radio, or I guess radio shows?
I don't know, I haven't asked him too much about it.
Huh.
But, yeah.
That is really interesting.
What kind of art inspires you, I guess?
Ooh, conceptual art, like especially for movies. The first thing that comes into mind, it's not like my go-to, but for some reason it just popped into my mind. How to Train Your Dragon 2. During the end credits, they actually, showed some of the designs, the storyboard. Well, not storyboards, but like the concept designs. And I think that sort of art is seriously awesome. Especially when you see, the finished product versus what they started with.
Yeah.
But I'm into like a lot of fantasy art. I say I'm into it. I appreciate it when I see it. I don't actively look for it.
Yeah.
I think the only art genre that I'm indifferent to or almost dislike. No, I dislike it. There's very few exceptions. Postmodern. Which is ironic because I actually have an art piece in mind that I'd like to do on like a really big canvas, maybe even try to submit it to a gallery, and it's postmodern. Okay, well,
no, I mean, that is ironic because all of postmodern art is ironic.
You know what? I don't need this right now.
I feel like that's a weird question because, it's similar to asking like, oh, what kind of music do you listen to? I feel like I never really asked, like, what kind of art do you look at?
Well, I mean, it's still a good question. It's a valid question, just as much as, asking what kind of music. Although you don't really force people to look at art as opposed to, forcing people to listen to music in your car.
Yeah. And then what would you like that art to become?
Probably storytelling of some sort. I guess the art form that really inspired me to actually do art was comics. Specifically, manga and Japanese cartoons. But I especially like the forms of comics because it was a blend between art and writing. So storytelling, visual storytelling.
Yeah.
And I suck at writing, except for dialogue, which is convenient because that's the only part you have to write in a comic.
Sure.
So.
Which favorite comic?
Oh, goodness, don't do this.
Okay, then at least right now.
I feel guilty for saying this, but I haven't read a comic in a while.
That's okay.
I guess my favorite in the past was D-Gray Man. That one was really, really cool, and I drew a lot of inspiration from that and Naruto. But that's that's everyone's, at least in our generation, that was our go-to.
Yeah. I actually don't watch as much anime as my attendance of anime conventions might indicate.
You're just there for a good time.
Mostly. And then, because, anime and manga are very connected. Which of those do you prefer, I guess?
I think nowadays I prefer anime, but it's more for the convenience of I can watch it and do something else at the same time. However, manga is the most nostalgic, and I guess I'm emotionally attached to that more because it reminds me of whenever I came back home from school and I take a Shonen Jump out of my stash because my mom didn't like me reading it. Sit at the foot of my bed and oh god, yes, Naruto.
Although watching anime, only if it's dubbed can you be doing something else. Unless you speak Japanese. I don't speak Japanese.
I read kind of fast, so sometimes you get a little bit of motion sickness, kind of up, down, up, down, up, down.
Oh, yeah. So, like, would you want to make manga or anime?
That was my dream as a teen. Like many weeaboos, I wanted to make my own manga, but that's really time consuming. However, I've been planning a webcomic for like the past 8 years, but whatever. That I'd like eventually turn into maybe a cartoon. That would be cool.
Yeah. What can you like reveal that now, or is that?
I might as well, because it's still like odds are I'm not going to finish it. But at the same time, if I do, it's not really life changing or. It's just, and I love to summarize it this way, it's just about some high school boys doing stupid things.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
People enjoy that.
Hopefully.
And if you announce it publicly and people enjoy that idea, you will receive more pressure to actually finish it, which is good motivation.
Is it, though? I'd label it as motivation. I'm not sure if good's one of it.
And what would be sort of like what makes it cool and different?
I don't think I'll ever claim for it to be cool or different. I guess different if I did it like in a manga style, it'd have like an American sense of humor. And it doesn't take place in Japan. It's just it's a slice of life. It's a normal situation, but with just some interesting, weird characters.
Yeah.
Inspired by people I've met.
Yeah. Do you think people would actually enjoy it, or are you just really self-conscious about it and you don't really want to show anyone?
I'd like to think that my ideas are interesting enough that people would be interested in them. I did lose a bit of motivation after watching a slice of life anime, and one of the characters was almost an exact duplicate of one of my best characters in that story. And I was like, literally the only difference was the hair color. Like even his hair design was the same. I was like, what happened? I made this character 7 years ago. Why am I just now seeing it on? What is going on?
Yeah.
But of course, like most people, who think they have their ideas stolen, maybe someone was watching me.
At the same time, a lot of anime is the same thing.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to be like too worried about it.
That's true.
The same character is in every anime ever, so.
This is true. Odds are, if this does happen, it'll be 20 years after that particular anime, so everyone's going to forget about it.
Yeah, sure.
It'll look like a new, interesting, original idea.
Yeah. And do you collaborate very much for artistic endeavors?
I can't say I do. Kind of a lone wolf in that aspect.
Would you want to?
I'd be open to that.
Yeah.
I'd be open to it. I say that in theory. Odds are I'd be, either one of two things, which is unmotivated and, procrastinating and I'd make a horrible partner, or I'd be very demanding and controlling and want to take over the whole project eventually.
Sure. But I mean, sometimes you just can't do everything.
And that's what depresses me.
And I mean, like, that's something I've had to accept either way, is that either I take over the whole thing and then let someone else do the things that I can't, or I just never finish it in the first place.
What's your blood type? A positive.
And then what would be your sort of like pie in the sky, like career, like end goal, I guess?
Financially stable and retired. I'd like to be a professional hobbyist, I guess.
Well, what would being a successful hobbyist be?
I guess just at least earning enough to, earning enough from my hobbies to live comfortably, if not extravagantly. But yeah, just like art. Hopefully, I mean, actually, Matt and I have been collaborating on a story, which we're wanting to, first write a book over, and then maybe if it goes anywhere after that, that'd be nice. But book writing, you do a lot of work at first, and then you reap the rewards and royalties later.
Yeah,
That sort of thing.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with Sable the other day, but like, I sort of asked this earlier, but like, what do you feel okay selling your art for money?
Yes. Yes. I guess the exception to that would be if someone asked me to draw something specific or like create something specific that was, I guess, against my ideals, like some sort of propaganda or something I didn't support. Then I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to sell out.
Yeah.
But if it's something pre-made, something I've made, and someone else thought it, it was really awesome enough to buy, sure.
Yeah. What does selling out look like?
What does it look like?
Yeah.
I guess it's not something I really think about too often, but I guess in my point of view, at least, supporting a cause you don't believe in, just for money. Endorsing people that you don't agree with, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you think you're going for a cause with your art? Are you like trying to say something with it?
Specifically my art, I don't really have anything planned. However, the book me and my friend Matt are writing it covers a lot of controversial topics. It's kind of like a social commentary, I guess, veiled in fantasy world.
Sure.
A lot of books are like that.
Because I mean, a conversation that I had with a different artist is that, in a way, you're kind of also being a messenger or a philosopher or something if your art says something. And so, what is it that you want people at least not to get out of your art?
That's an interesting question, especially for art, since it's up for interpretation usually, or at least a lot of artists don't fully reveal the purpose of their art. I mean, it's vague enough that people can put whatever meaning that they think the artist is trying to convey, or whatever touches them.
Yeah.
And so many artists won't really correct anyone because it's up to you how you interpret it. Art makes you feel.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what to feel.
True.
Yeah. If anyone got anything from my art that was specifically controversial to something I believed in, I would speak up.
Sure. Yeah. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about cosplay. Especially because that's how we know each other.
This is true. Yeah.
Why do you do cosplay, or have you done cosplay?
I actually haven't cosplayed in the past year.
Yeah.
And so this is actually a good time for me to reflect on why I'd like to go back, because recently I decided that I'd like to try to go back to one when I started to cosplay, it was like, it could be taken as an expression of art, in itself. There's a lot of crafting involved, which is probably why I was drawn to it in the first place.
Yeah.
And also, looking like my favorite characters is pretty fun. I mean, oh, why do kids dress up as superheroes? But after that break, I actually had to think about if I wanted to go back or not. Since I've been told a lot of times, especially from my mom, she'd ask when I'd grow out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, this, maybe I'll never grow out of it, Mom. Yaya Han is still out there
Yeah,
cosplaying,
exactly.
and she's making money. She's getting paid for it. That'd be nice. I mean, as a career, like, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
However, very few make it to that, to that tier.
Yeah, but Yaya Han's face is all over Joanne Fabrics stores, and that's a little weird, given that nerds are nerds because their stuff isn't popular.
I guess it's age of the nerd now.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe I'm going back to cosplay for a nostalgia stake. And also, I don't know, it's just a combination of so many hobbies that I enjoy that I think it'd be a natural progression just on combining everything. And you can get cosplay, crafting, you can do art in there for like drawing concepts. And I recently wanted to learn how to do makeup after like 24 years. Finally thought, I think it's time now that I can afford it.
What made you stop doing cosplay?
Honestly, funds.
Yep, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is an expensive hobby. Especially, I guess that's why a lot of cosplayers have turned to prints to like fund that hobby. Because otherwise it's, you're dressing up for your own pleasure. And like it's not so much an investment as it is just spending money on something you enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was mostly money and time. And like I said before, I can either lose motivation because I can't do everything or like try to do everything. And at that time, it was just I had to pick between work and play. And unfortunately, I could not support myself on art alone. So
yeah. And then part of that was performing.
Oh, yeah. I'm just now realizing I like to do a lot of things that I never really fully, I guess, go after. Man, I am really a jack of all trades. What was it?
That's a good thing.
Well, master of none, though, so.
No, there's another half to that phrase, which actually says jack of all trades is a good thing. Yeah. I forget the second half of that phrase.
Okay, the one I know is like...
jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And then there's another phrase to that. Like, it's a double rhyme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to look it up later because it's not coming to me. Maybe that's why my life is in shambles. I can't remember that other part.
Why? I mean, because a lot of people do cosplay and stuff, and then don't extend that to going up on stage and yelling at people from there. What motivates that extension?
Going up there and yelling at people. Now I know what you think about this. Well, I'm not sure if that was like from cosplay exactly. This is actually weird because I've actually always been interested in theater. However, I guess I was never confident enough to pursue that, like in middle school, high school, when they're offering theater and drama, and it seemed kind of like an exclusive. You got to be in this sort of group in order to be in this class. I guess I was easily intimidated, but no, I've always wanted to try performing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm some sort of masochist because I always get nervous beforehand, especially since I started out playing like in recitals, and that's my first performance. I think I did a play or two in grade school.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess the skits, and specifically the skits I like writing, it's mostly dialogue and comedy, and I always think I'm really funny, probably funnier than I actually am. But writing skits was a way to kind of show off, because I'm also vain. I'm low-key competitive, and I survive on compliments.
Yeah.
And however, the plus side is I know I have to work for it, so I like to think I earn them at least.
Well, no, I think there's a level of becoming a like public artist that you have to be confident enough in your work to believe that other people will like it.
This is true.
So at least every artist has been confident enough to say, I think you would like this enough for you to pay for it, or at least enjoy it.
I'd have to agree. Does that mean every public artist isn't as humble as they seem?
At least a little bit to some level. In the same way that every politician, is wanting to make the world a better place, but also is wanting to be put in a position of power, which should be suspect.
Yeah, this is true. It's a slippery slope, especially that career field. Yeah. Or at least they trust their judgment enough to be the ones calling the shots.
Yeah. Out of all of these things that you are a jack of all trades of, which do you feel that, like, describes you? That I am a blank.
Oh. I guess the underlying tie between all of them is art. So I would say I am an artist.
Yeah. And then how highly do you value that concept of art?
Very highly. Art seems to be almost genetic for humans. Like, everyone expresses it in some way. Music, art, and then there's all sorts of subsets to that. So I think it's something everyone can relate to on one level or another. Except maybe the people who don't enjoy music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they do.
Do you think everyone can be artistic?
Yeah, in some aspect. Yeah, I think that if you weren't artistic at all, you'd be kind of like a computer.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really be human, I guess. I don't know. Now we're starting to get into like, what's considered human, what's considered weird.
We can go there. But
this is true.
That's sort of the point of this.
Oh yeah, this particular.
But at what point do you think it stops being good art?
That's okay. Entirely in my opinion, and doesn't mean it's right.
Yes.
I see it not being art when you're pandering to a certain artist, like a certain audience. Sorry, and not doing anything you enjoy. Because I would think for it to be considered art, and of course you can't really measure this unless you actually talk to the person.
Sure.
Because art is so vastly different according to each person. But if I were to start painting postmodern art that I absolutely hate, just so I can get some money because that's what everyone else liked, I wouldn't consider that art. It's kind of a job.
Yeah. Should one enjoy their job?
Well, if everyone did, we'd be a lot happier.
Yeah. And then, like, what even is bad art?
I feel like I can't be the judge of that because I see some art and I'm like, oh man, please stop. But at the same time, it's not like actually bad. And plus, everyone learns. Everyone's on a different level. Bad art is when you are stuck and you refuse to improve, or you have no desire to improve.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be considered good, and you're like, that's what I'm going to stick with.
Another like important factor to art, as I've discussed with other people on this podcast, is authenticity. How important is authenticity to you?
It's kind of a trick question. Because if all art had to be authentic, then half the art, like graphic art and stuff like that we do for, a lot of artists do as a job, wouldn't be considered art. So I'm going to say I think art with more authenticity is more valuable. As opposed to, stuff you do just because someone else wants it.
Yeah.
Then again, look at the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was also given, like, a lot of leeway there.
And this is true.
Like, I don't think they specifically said, like, can we have this guy's head be exactly on this position?
Yeah, this is true. And I'm pretty sure he added some stuff they really didn't like. Like, that looks like one of the priests that you really hate, and he's burning in hell. Yeah.
But I mean, graphic design is still considered art. How do we still put a level of ourselves into this sort of contract work of art?
I guess it really depends. At some level, you can accept what kind of commissions you'll take, what kind of jobs you'll take. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you really need to earn dough.
Yeah.
But I mean, part of you will always be in the art, just because you tend to have a certain style.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like a lot of times, it can't be recreated. Not to crap on graphic artists who use pre-made text and but still, that design, most of these designs still come from your head. Like, some people could have it planned out to the exact detail, but to a point, you get to have free say in, like, oh, I'm going to put this sort of pattern here.
Sure.
And you call some of the shots.
Yeah. No, I mean, one of my good friends, Megan, is she is a graphic designer, but I see her design work and I can see it's hers. Yeah. Yeah. To always be very, abrupt in this shift in conversation, because there's no good way to transition into it. What is the role of spirituality or religion in your life?
Not even like a segue into it.
Nope.
Man, no puns.
Nope.
Let's see. For those of you listening who actually know who I am and the life I led before, I have had a switch in spirituality, at least in the exact doctrines I believe in. I still consider myself to be a spiritual person. Not quite in the atheist lane, despite what some people might say. But I think the fact that I'm really into it, just dissecting religion, especially Christianity, which is, I used to go to a Christian church. When wanting to dissect that has actually caused me to kind of veer off the traditional, quote unquote, traditional path. So yeah, I'd consider myself pretty spiritual, at least enough to dig around and not just take someone else's word as law.
Yeah. And so in what ways are you still spiritual?
I mean, I'm not apathetic. I oftentimes lay at night just kind of thinking, like, what happens when I die? And that's still a really scary concept to me. And there's just some things that happen in life, and I'm like, that I don't believe that to be just a coincidence. Just there's, and that might just be ignorances of, our entire existence as a human race. Why we're so different from everything else here, but
yeah. What started your sort of investigation into Christianity, I guess?
Well, I have read the Bible cover to cover more than 10 times. My mom saw to that.
Yeah.
And I've always had questions. At first, they were very far and few between concerning the Bible, and I would ask them, and I wouldn't really get satisfying answers.
Yeah.
But being a kid, and being really shy and not confident in anything about me, including critical thinking. I would just take their word for it and be like, oh, maybe I just don't understand it because they're an adult, I'm a kid.
Sure.
And so as I get older, some questions I still didn't quite understand, or at least the answers I was giving, I still didn't quite understand.
Yeah. And
so, I once in a while bring it up, and I get another unsatisfying answer.
Yeah.
And I'm really not. I wasn't really confrontational.
Yeah.
Growing up, so it kind of started mounting, and the older I got, the more I started to understand, but those answers were not some of them. So yeah.
Since it's more questions rather than answers, have you reached answers to some of these questions?
I'd like to say some. A fraction of them. Yeah. Some of these questions I don't think can be answered.
Yeah.
Or at least not for sure, and that's what was agitating the people I was asking.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't provide answers, but it was, just have faith.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And I mean, you have a lot of firm criticism, but you also are very specific about it, rather than fully denounce the whole thing. Like you're able to hone in on these specific things and call stuff out. Why do you remain so specific, I guess?
I don't claim to be an expert in the whole thing. I also believe that, as a general rule, things start with a grain of truth. So to denounce the whole thing as a lie, I can't disprove everything. Granted, some things can't be proved or disproved.
Yeah.
In that aspect, but there's still things that, science can't explain. Maybe we're not there yet, but at the same time, it's,
yeah,
it's not something I want to rule out just because I'm adamant about the whole thing being wrong.
Where are you, at least right now? What are your guesses as to what that truth is?
Oh. I guess if I had to sum up what I am, as opposed to, where my beliefs are specifically, I'd consider myself a theist. I mean, I believe that there is something out there, but not specifically the God of the Christian religion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why is there a distaste for the God of the Christian religion?
Oh, we opening that can of worms right now.
Wow.
All right. I mean, that's what the podcast is for.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's a very, very vague question. I'm not sure where to start with that, to be honest. I guess just picking something out, there's a lot of hypocrisy and just, things in the Bible that contradict itself.
Yeah.
And especially when looking at, modern Christianity. One of the questions I had growing up was, why do we follow some rules and not others? And I bring up, how come women are allowed to wear pants now? Or why are we allowed to eat pork? And, they come up with, what was it? Paul, or was it Peter? God, it's been a while since I read the Bible. On the roof, God grants him a vision of all the animals coming down like a blanket. And it was just, a metaphor for Gentiles are now allowed, you can evangelize to Gentiles, not just Jewish people.
Sure.
And, it was eat what you can pick whatever you want to eat. And there was unclean animals on there.
Sure.
Anyway, but yeah, that's what people brought up whenever, why do we eat pork or shrimp? When specifically seafood, shrimp was considered a sin. In the same list that homosexuality was considered a sin. So it's which authority went in and that's okay, nah, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Just seems really selective and kind of arbitrary.
Yeah. And then what's sort of the things that you like about it?
I especially like Jesus' teaching. Bible Jesus, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
White Jesus, not so much.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of the golden rule. It's, and I like how specific it is. Not don't do, and a lot of there's similar rules to this where it's you don't do something bad to someone that you wouldn't want have done to yourself. But with Jesus's rule, it was specifically do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if you wanted something good to happen to you, go ahead and do something good to someone else. It wasn't just don't be a dick. It's be a good person.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. Is there in what ways do you think that Christianity could reconcile?
Don't hate on poor people, for one. I've seen a lot of people equate material wealth with, I guess, how you're doing spiritually. And so, man, so much I want to say.
You can say whatever you want. I
have to pick and choose.
That's up to you.
Yeah, I have to pick and choose what's more important to me because we have a finite amount of time. Okay. One point that I made on my Twitter account was how when you receive wealth, money, blessings, it's considered a blessing from God. However, when you're asked to share that with other with poor people, suddenly it's I earned it. If you go out and you work, you can do the same.
Yeah.
Is it a gracious blessing from God that you don't deserve, and he, through his whole, his generosity, he gave it to you? Or did you earn it on your own?
Yeah.
It's just that, that flip-flopping of, oh man, God is good. Not to you though.
Yeah. There's a lot of connection between religious belief and political discourse.
Definitely.
And we see the conflict a whole lot, especially lately. And so, in what ways do you think that political discourse has to become different from the religious doctrine?
Honestly, I mean, politics and religion have gone back as early as, civilization, maybe even earlier. So, and they're both inherently connected because they both deal with how you should live your life. One is how you personally should live your life. The other one is who gets to tell you how to live your life.
Yeah.
And so, unless we got rid of, I don't think either of them can be, disposed of, because if you get rid of one, that other one's going to branch out and you're going to have the same problem again.
Sure.
However, we also can't live without them.
Yeah.
Or else it's anarchy, everyone, for themselves. And, we're too far to just throw that away. We could and just start over. With 1,000 people left on Earth. It's all done.
Well, I mean, if whatever a catastrophic event might seem to happen, or we be moving towards, maybe it would, but hopefully not. And what steps can we take to prevent that?
Man, if I could provide an answer, I should be running for a leader of the free world.
Well, no, but this is just your opinion.
My opinion, okay. You know what? I actually don't have a very good answer for that. Like I said, they're so connected that I don't think you can have one without the other, without some sort of either, some sort of discourse or one overshadowing the other and then merging, basically,
Sure.
Which is what's looking like it's happening right now. However, if reason prevailed, there could be a separation of some sort, at least a peaceful one where, each section's not like self-serving. I guess that makes me think of, is this communism? Or is that like it's all merged into one, we lump it together?
The thing about the semantics of it is that the words do have a lot of weight to them. And so as soon as you say something like, maybe we should just take care of one another, then, that is sometimes tied into like, hey, wait, that sounds like communism. But the word communism carries all this other junk with it.
Yeah.
And so...
I prefer the term collectivism.
But I mean, can they be separated?
You know what? I don't think so. As much as, some people would want that, and as much as some people want them to be completely merged, merged together. I think if it could be achieved at all, balance would be very, very, very hard to come by.
Since you are still spiritual, how does that affect how you live your life morally?
I was actually thinking about this, especially since you brought up the topic of free will and like moral philosophy. I did some light reading.
Yeah.
And, I guess there's that question of who's really more, if we're using moral in the sense of having more righteous set of values, because morality as a word in itself, it has different meanings too.
Yeah.
That question of who's more quote unquote moral, a Christian who does good because they fear punishment, hell, or an atheist who does good without fear of any sort of consequence. And the argument for either side is, obviously, if you're a Christian, you're afraid of consequences, going to hell because you're a bad person. Are you really being good? Or are you just like, is it self-serving at its core?
Sure.
As opposed to an atheist, but at the same time, their set of values can differ vastly from the set rules in Christianity and how you're supposed to behave.
Yeah.
So, I honestly forgot the question. I just
how do you shape your moral philosophy?
Oh, me personally, I mean, I guess there's still that sort of fear of like, what if I'm wrong in my beliefs? What if there is no meaning and I'm oppressing myself for nothing? Or conversely, there's someone definitely watching and it's definitely the Christian God. And he's like, come on, I sent you the Bible and couldn't even do that. And like, dude, all right. No one came back to edit any of this.
Yeah.
But I guess how I'm operating now is just by my own personal code of what I believe is right or wrong. And I don't know, I guess guilt is a major factor. And I like to think in my own little fantasy world that when you die, I thought of a story for this, but when you die, you're not judged by like a set of rules, but by how you feel. Because I think in that way it'd be fair because like if you're a Christian, you have a set of values and you knew that you didn't you didn't follow it to the best of your abilities, you'd feel guilty.
Yeah.
So that would be the best judge of how you were as a person, as opposed to like being an atheist and, your own moral code. However, but that brings up like some sort of sick sadist who doesn't believe they did anything wrong. There's nothing like really set on what's right, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, you still make decisions as to how, do I, you cut me off in traffic. Do I follow you home and shoot you? Or do I just, they're having a rough day. It's okay. Like there's a wide ranging.
This is true. That's when we bring out the golden rule. Would I want someone to come and shoot me after cutting them off in traffic? No. Okay. Luckily, I don't get road rage unless someone's not speeding up on the on-ramp or if they got truck nuts. But I don't think that's, worth beating someone with a bat over. So
Sure. They might though. And then like, it's hard to look at the world and see the stuff that is going on. And, in many cases have to decide to not do anything. How do you, at least personally, deal with that?
The sense of helplessness that I'm only one person and I can't make the change that I want. It sucks.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I guess the only thing I can really do is reflect my beliefs in my own personal life. I believe in setting an example. Which cuts down on that whole hypocrisy issue.
Yes.
And that'd be nice if everyone practiced that. But,
yes.
Yeah. I like to think that there's always two versions of yourself. You have like an idealized version of yourself in your head based on what you would do in a certain circumstance or what you'd like to do, as opposed to what you actually do.
Yeah.
And I think your actions reflect on who you are rather than what you say.
Yeah.
So if I can make those two match, I'm golden.
Yeah. Is any of that reflected in your art?
Let's see. Not Not so far.
Yeah.
Not really. Right now, I do kind of like commercial art. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm a sellout to a point.
Would you want to, though?
Yes. I actually have a piece in mind, that postmodern
Yeah.
piece. It actually has a meaning. Without going into too much detail, it's just a painting with black and white, and eventually merges into gray. And it's a piece on morality.
Yeah. Makes sense. And then lastly, what advice do you have for people?
Ooh. I honestly don't believe I'm in a position to give advice.
A lot of people say that, and then they give it anyways.
Yeah, okay, well, I guess I'll follow in their footsteps. I think I'm going to go back to what I said earlier about the person in your head versus the person that you are. It's one thing to say that you believe in all these things and what you think a good person should be. It's another thing entirely to act on that. So if you can try your best to not say as much as you do, I think you'll eventually become a person you're proud of.
Yeah. Sal, thank you for doing this with me.
It's no problem. It was fun.
Where can we find your things?
Which things?
All of them. Promote everything.
Okay, promote everything. Let's see. You can find my Etsy. Hopefully, it'll be updated soon when I actually start working on stuff. It's Vandeavor, Vandeavor. You can also find me on Instagram under the same name. That's for my cosplay stuff. And if you're interested in following my very, very controversial biblical Twitter, it is Tova_shrimp.
It's great. I actually receive tweet notifications from you because it's like whatever. It's like, ooh, what you got now? Cool.
Some extra salt.
Yeah. It's real salty, but it's great.
Oh, thank you.
Is that all your plugging stuff?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to plug in just now. That it took me a lot of guts to do the Twitter thing.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that, and I know it's hard to, especially live in Oklahoma and have these opinions about religion and open up about them. But if the people around you truly do care about you, then they shouldn't give you too much crap about that.
Hopefully, yeah.
Or it would just reveal to you who you really do want to be your friends.
This is entirely true.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for letting me into your house and ask you really personal questions. I'm Santiago Ramones. You can find all the things that I do on my website, santiagoramones.com. I make music, and I also have this podcast, which you can find on Apple Podcasts or on Stitcher or on YouTube or on my website itself, santiagoramones.com. I always end every podcast with my 3 things, which shape my philosophy. And those 3 things are: love never fails, it's going to be okay, I might be wrong.